Hello and welcome to ESL Revolution, everyone. I am your content creator and professor, Dr. B. Not a real doctor. I hope you're all doing very, very well today, and thank you for returning for part 3 for the Sorcerer Corruption Healer video. That's right. If you have not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the button. Come on. It's only a button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a little red button. There you go. It's right there. You're even looking at it right now while I'm talking. Go ahead. Hit the sub button. You're going to notice on the channel that this is the final video for the healing class proficiencies. This is the last one that I've done. Next week, I'm going to be starting into the tanking, the three tanking classes, or the 3 tanking characters. So keep that in mind. Hit the sub button, hit the notification button, because you will see those come up starting Tuesday. It'll be these videos go live on Tuesday my time, which means Monday night your time, if you happen to be playing in North America. Okay, here we go. Just a shout out to Merlin Sortor. Thank you so much, Merlin, for putting the guides together. A link is in the description below for you to check out. I would highly recommend him. Support what he does. He does a great job. I do have permission from him to use his guides in relation to the video material that I'm creating. So thank you so much for all of your efforts there. Okay. We are going to be touching on 3 things today. Number 1, gearing. Number 2, stats. Number 3, energy management. So let's get it on. Let's go. Okay. So in my overview video, I discussed that there was some changes to the gearing and the tacticals within Sorc healing, or of course, if you're on the Republic side, Sage healer as well. Sage Seer healer. It was originally that you could, originally the Mystic set, revitalized Mystic set was the one that that people were using, but the set was underwhelming. It did not perform particularly well, and also the tacticals did not perform very well either. So those things were revamped in 6.1.1, and the Empowered Restorer still has the Empowered Restorer set is now kind of like the main set that people will use. Okay, so let's talk about the gearing first. Oh, why is that not coming up? There we go. Okay, here we go. So here's the gearing. Let me switch it over here to Force. You can see here the Empowered Restorer. This is the set here. I have 6 pieces of the set, plus I have 1 Amplified Champion. Okay, and you will also, well, I'll come to that in a second. You'll see here that these bonuses revolve around our use of Static Barrier. So the 4-piece bonus, Static Barrier, applies Empowered Restoration to its target, restoring 2797 health over 12 seconds. So this is a tick heal when you use this. Okay, so you're going to see here's Empowered Restoration, and you're going to see those ticks go off. Now, the Static Barrier, of course, still, it still is present. Okay, it's still present for quite a while. And then, of course, the last thing is you're going to get a heal after the Static Barrier comes down, but obviously I've got no healing, so I didn't have that. Surrounding a target with static beam immediately heals for 3,700 to 4,600. So you get a little bit of a top off. Okay, you get a little bit of a top off. Again, we're going to hit that. So there's my number. It's ticking down. You see here that I've got these numbers here. So every time I heal, I talked about this in video number 2. Now it's down to 5. Now, if I just leave that there, you can still see that I've got the bubble up there, and for another few seconds, and it didn't do anything at that time. Well, it's supposed to, maybe because I don't have any healing. There's nothing there. There's nothing there for me. What I can do is I can mix and match where the static bubble, static barrier will actually return some health to me at the end of that. So I talked about that in video number 2. So it's that plus a combination of these other mitigations plus healing. So that's where the Empowered Restorer set comes into play. So this is the one that you would want to use for sure. Now there is another set. Let me see here. Where is it? There is another one. Where is it here? The other set, I believe it's in here. Now I don't have the actual full set here. This is Endless Offensive, and it works in conjunction with this one right here. These kind of work together. So I'm not going to talk about this one right now, but you can use it for healing because Volt Rush deals 10% more damage if applicable healing. So that means that if you're using Volt Rush, which is not on my bar, but if you're using this set, you can use Volt Rush to increase your healing by 10%. Energized now stacks up to 3 times. Force speed immediately recharges 2 Volt Rush ability charge. So there is a way of using this set as a healer set. I don't have it. I only got this through Kai Zyken to show you kind of that this is an option. Although for me right now, I'm going to stick with the Empowered Sorc set. All right, it's the Empowered Restorer set. So it is there, but not something that I have set up as a 6-piece. Okay, Gathering Storm is another set. This is primarily a DPS set. Do not use that set when you are when you're healing. It's just not going to be good for you, so don't take that one. Revitalized Mystic, I do have that in my vaults, although Empowered goes way above and beyond Revitalized, so I wouldn't use that set either for your heal gearing. Okay, in terms of tacticals, these two here, one for all and all for one. These two here are going to be your 2 tacticals that you use mostly. The Roaming Mend, that's right, or it's Warding Mend, I would think on the other one. Roaming Mend is will now heal up to 5 targets instead of 4. So you get an additional heal ball kind of bouncing around on you. And this essentially means that you have a 20% increase in healing when you use Roaming Mend. Okay, this one here bounces around, finds players that need to be healed, and boom, 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 boom. Now 5 people have been healed with that tactical. This is definitely very. This is going to be your. You're going to use this a lot when it comes time to. It's kind of like your basic sort of heal. You're going to have that equipped quite a bit for you. So yeah, you have that on your bar at all times especially with All for One and One for All. Have them both there so you can use them. This is AoE. Even if you are healing a single target, you can still use Roaming Mend and have that bounce around so you can keep other players up a little bit while you are focusing on single target. All for One. This is this one right here. I just swapped that over. So Revivification's pool concludes with a burst of Dark Force energy, healing up to 8 allies within it for 23 to 2,500. Okay, so we're looking at Revivification. Revivification, this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there. This is an AoE heal. You can see that it's ticking off here. And at the very end, I'm going to get a nice burst of light. Boom! There it is. And it gives me another little AoE heal. Okay. So that one's there. Again, these two here are AoE in nature. This one here, the Volt Rush tactical, you can use this one as kind of a single target if you want. So you could actually use this one, but I think it's probably one that you would use with that other set. Okay, within Powers, I don't think it's going to provide you that same setup. I do have it on my bar because it's there almost as a reminder, telling me, hey, this set is out there, don't forget it. So it will come sooner rather than later. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the gear specifically. You'll also notice here that I have force harmonization tacticals, or not tacticals, but amplifiers. Those are on all of my pieces. And if you see down here, where is it? There it is, critical chance, skills / buffs 9%. Okay, skills / buffs 9%. And you'll see here that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's my 9. And then, of course, here I've also got the 0.4% force harmonization on the amplifier. Now, if you know this, I don't know, you can still see that the skills buffs only register 9, even though technically I'm 9.4. I don't know whether that 0.4 actually comes into anything. Whether it's calculated, I don't know. I've not read anything, but it is there for you anyway. Yeah, you never know. Use it as you will. The reason why we use force harmonization, of course, because all of our healing abilities are force-based, and force harmonization affects 100% of those skills. So that's the one we want to be using. Okay, so that is our gear. That is the amplifiers. Now let's look at stats very quickly here. You can see my crit chance almost 48%, crit multiplier 42.5, force regen 8.7. Now, my alacrity is a little bit higher because I just didn't want to change out one of my augments. If I take out my augment, the alacrity goes down to 7-point-something%, which I'll explain to in a bit, and it increases my crit chance and my crit multiplier a little bit. So slightly different. This should be about 48, 49%. This is about 43.5. So keep in mind that these stats here will be slightly higher, and my force regen will be slightly lower based on the alacrity. Let's talk about alacrity first, however, before we get into some of the other stats. Alacrity is one of those things that can be confusing for new players. Now, in my guild, for the Imperial side, which I've not focused on a whole lot, you're going to see this right here, the Zeal Set bonus. Now, the Zeal Set bonus occurs when I have all of these unlocked, and I can use all of these skills here. You see this one here, this icon, and I can use this icon here. Once I have 4 of those skills, those passive skills active in the guild ship, this opens up and grants me a 5% bonus to alacrity. Now, this is really, really helpful if you have that. I have it on my pub side guild. I do not have it on the imp side guild. We are still working towards that. But that allows me to increase my alacrity to 1.3 global cooldown without a large loss of critical. Okay, so that means I can have faster global cooldowns without having any significant negative repercussions on my critical. Okay. However, here are the numbers. Okay, here are the numbers. If you have the Zeal bonus active, you need 1,895 alacrity to get the 1.3 global cooldown. However, if you do not have the Zeal bonus, do not try to get that 1.3 global cooldown, in my opinion, because it's going to cost you 3,208 in order to get it, which means your critical is going to be very, very low, and you are simply not going to heal effectively. Okay, that would be my advice to you on that one. However, on the flip side, if you do not have the Zeal bonus, you can get the 1.4 global cooldown, so it's 0.10 down. You can get the 1.4 global cooldown, and that will cost you 1,213 alacrity, and that gives you the 1.4. So if you do not have the Zeal bonus, you need 1,213 to get the 1.4 global cooldown. If you have the Zeal bonus, then you need 1,895 in order for you to get the 1.3 global cooldown. Okay, so that's it for the alacrity there. You'll also notice in terms of stats, I am running the Primeval Fate Sealer and I'm running Devastated Vengeance. If you are using, if you go into PvP or you're doing Drux, or not Drux, Zun, for example, I don't know whether that's Dune or Zune. Probably Zune, I would imagine. Dune? Yeah, not sure. Whatever. Then you're going to want to swap these out for Serendipitous Assault and Focused Retribution. So for most of your, sorry, I just hit the one button there on my keyboard. For most of the content, you'll use these ones. Now, why is that? Well, because with the Devastating Vengeance, you're going to increase your crit rating by 6 seconds by 30%. Sorry, you're going to get a 30% chance to grant 2,800, almost 2,900 crit rating for 6 seconds. And this one here, this is a clickable right here, and this will, excuse me, this will increase your alacrity rating by 2,314 for 30 seconds. So if I click that one, there we go. There's my alacrity boost. Now you can see my alacrity going up. You've got this little like lightning stuff going around you, which is a really, really nice kind of visual indicator that you've got that alacrity bonus, and you can shoot things off a lot faster that way. Okay. Once you hit the alacrity bonuses, okay, once you hit these bonuses for either the 1895 or the 1213, depending on the Zeal perk, then dump everything else into your critical. Okay, you don't have to worry about shield, absorb, defense. Alacrity. Here's the thing about alacrity. So you can. What I do is
this right here. So I use an alacrity stim that gives me 102.73. It does give me a little bit of accuracy. Now the reason I use that is because of this right here. This is my interrupt. Now, according to some calculations that I've read about, even having this small amount of accuracy will allow your will decrease the chance of your interrupts missing by a significant amount. So having that is very, very nice. And also, it gives you 109 critical rating, which is essentially another augment. Okay, so you can see there I went from 78, I went from 47 up to 48. So it's a nice little bonus. It just gives you a nice little extra oomph. So those ones are ones to use there. Okay, stats are taken care of. Augments, let me just show you the augments. I'm running the purple augments with power and crit. I do have a couple of alacrity as well, just to push myself a little bit higher. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is energy management. Okay, energy management. Now, as is the case for healing, you do want to be focused, not heavily focused, but you do want to be able to pay attention to the force that you have down here, because if you start running low on force, you're going to get yourself into trouble. The nice thing about these different play styles that I've got set up here on my quick bar is that these are going to help you maintain your force as you heal. Okay? So let me run through what I've done here to help you with this. Okay. First of all, on my main one, so from number 1 to 12 here, I have Static Barrier, Resurgence, Innervate, Dark Infusion, Resurgence, and Dark Heal. Okay, those are the 6 that I use at the very beginning. Now, why do I do that? Well, because it provides a significant max burst heal. All right, you can put a lot of healing out in a very, very short amount of time. However, what you need to recognize is that this does actually use a fairly sizable chunk of your force. So what you want to do is you want to use Consuming Darkness immediately after using this. Okay, so how does this work? Static Barrier, Resurgence, Innervate, Dark Infusion, Resurgence, Dark Heal, and my Consuming Darkness. Okay. And I can use these a couple times. You'll notice that this here actually procced. Okay, so let me show you again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Consuming Darkness. Consuming Darkness. So with 2 global cooldowns, 1 to 2 global cooldowns, I can get my force right back up. It's a really nice, big max burst heal that you can put on a tank if needed. Okay, so that's the first one right there. The second one I use is light energy management. Okay, so this is where, you know, I'm not suffering a whole lot. My energy management is quite high. I've got these 3 skills right here: Resurgence, Innervate, and Consuming Darkness. Now, this one here, this combo should be used every other Resurgence to maintain force surge stacks. Okay, so every time I use Resurgence, every other time, this one here is a really nice one to use. So this one. Okay, so you see I've got my force surge.
Okay, I want to maintain that. This is going to go back up, so I'm maintaining that one. Maintaining. So I'm maintaining that force surge. And this improves the this improves my effectiveness of consuming darkness. Okay? So I want to be and by increasing, it means that I can increase the amount of force regeneration by using that. Okay, I think every second one I can get a bonus of 2 or something like that. Okay, heavy energy management. Okay, here's the next one. Now this one here is a little bit more involved because it focuses more on energy regeneration because of the shield that comes up front, and it allows us a little bit of wiggle room. So here we go. So static barrier to start off with, very energy efficient. Consuming darkness to start because the energy regen starts at the very beginning. Okay? And it applies reverse corruption force regen buff. Then I hit my resurgence, applies the armor buff and the heal over time, and it refreshes the large burst heal if refreshing and grants force bending. Okay, Innervate gives a plus is plus crit from force bending. All right, so here's my Innervate. I get my I get my nice plus crit heal. Then I use Dark Infusion. It is a very energy efficient heal. I get a really nice burst, applies force mending to my dark heal. Then I can use Resurgence. Then I hit my dark heal again because I've got that proc. And this becomes a free heal. And then I go back and I hit Consuming Darkness again to get that healing back up and running. So here, so watch down here. So I hit this one here. You notice this crit is on now. Now look at my power. So by doing that at the very end, now I've got all my health back. So this takes a little bit more power to go through. It's a slower process because you want to make sure all your timings are right. And at the very end, you're going to get that proc. And that proc is going to give you more at the end. So you're going to get a little bit of regen at the beginning. And you're going to get that proc at the end, which means you're going to fill up your force very, very nicely. Okay. The last one I want to talk about is a buffed Dark Heal. Okay, Dark Infusion, which is this one right here. Dark Infusion, Resurgence, and Dark Heal. This combo is already inside this one, and it's already inside this one. However, you might want to use it on your own, on its own, as you can. As you always use Resurgence on cooldown, and every other time it should proc a free dark heal. Okay, so I'm using this one. There's your proc on dark heal. I'm using this one, and then I'm using this one. So this, wow, that healed for 41. So this is very, very nice because when you've got this, you've got basically your dark heal becomes basically a free heal. Okay, so it's a very, very nice one to use. This is easy on the, very easy on the force regen. This is a good topper off. So if you see somebody who's kind of maybe 70, 80%, this one here is a really nice one to just use on its own to top off a player in your group. Now, AoE healing.
Sorks do not have the best AoE healing. They do have some skills, however. Two in particular. Number one, we've got Revivification and Roaming Mend. Okay, those two. And then Unnatural Preservation is our own self-heal. So these two here. Now, you want to be using Force Bend or Force Bending with these two skills. Okay, you want to be using Force Bending with these two skills. Now, what does Force Bending look like? Let me see if I can find it here. Where's my Force Bending? Force Bending, there we go. Okay, so I'm using this skill right here. And my next effectiveness is increased. So if I'm using this one here, okay, that Revivification, that heal over time has increased because of that Force Mend. I think it's gone now. But that's what you want. You want to be able to use some of these skills in operation, in conjunction with each other. Force Bend, you also want to be using with Roaming Mend. So if I hit this one, Resurgence, there's that one. This one. Oh. I hit that wrong. There we go. Let's try that again. There we go. There's the bubble there. So that bubble will be kind of bouncing around, but you can't see that right now. So it's because I got nobody around me, so you can't see it bouncing. But that's essentially how you'd be using that one. The other thing, be proactive with your static barrier, okay? You don't want to be putting static barrier on everybody, okay? It's just too much work. Pick the tank, yourself, and one DPS person that you know is going to be taking damage. That's who you're going to be wanting to focus on. The other thing is coordinating with your co-healer, okay? If you're in a group of 16 or a group of 8, you've got another healer, maybe one of you should pick another healing class to go on, okay? So the operative is a very good kind of, they work very well, I think, with Sorc healers. We can focus on single target. They can focus on their very strong AoE healing, okay? Prioritize Resurgence over Invinerate and Consuming Darkness for Force Management, okay? So Resurgence is one that you want to focus on. So this is one that you want to be you want to be kind of working in tandem, okay? And you want to be reapplying Resurgence on any player who's taking consistent damage. So if you see somebody who's always dropping, that's the one you're going to want to be using. Now, there are 2 buffs in this game, and because of my time today, I am not going to be talking about that. However, I would point you into the direction of the guide that I put in the link below with Merlin. He goes through and talks about force buff in relation to Revivification, Roaming Mend, Dark Heal, Dark Infusion, and what Force Surge is. So I would definitely go in and take a look at that more so directly. Play around a little bit on your quick bars and see how you want to put those up together. Okay, that's it for me today. That's a lot of information, but I do hope it is helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, sub up, hit the notification buttons, because the next group of videos that I will be posting will be on the tanking lines. So stay tuned, everybody. Have a great day, and remember, as always, may the force be with you. Take care and have a great day.